Disney shares closing sharply lower after the company reported a steep drop in TV profits, shares sliding nearly 8% after investors weigh the latest earnings. Disney reported solid streaming growth and profits for amusement parks, but suggested that it is ready for this drawn-out fight with YouTube TV when it comes to carriage rights. Morgan Stanley estimates the blackout has already $60 million in revenue over just the last 2 weeks. As for its theme parks, well, they were some of the first major attractions to embrace a little something known as dynamic pricing. So that's when companies raise prices when they know demand will be highest. New technology has now allowed dynamic pricing to expand, often to the frustration of tourists. And now AI means a lot of prices can just change in real time. Brian Kelly is the founder of The Points Guy and joins us now. Brian, it's great to have you here. So I think this is a major frustration for a lot of folks when they are traveling. And of course, it's not just limited now to theme parks, and it's certainly not limited to the U.S. Is dynamic pricing essentially the standard at this point?
Well, it's certainly becoming the standard. I saw this week, I forget which artist it was, but concerts are now dynamically pricing. So even if you get a pre-sale, you might look 10 minutes later and tickets are changing. So as a consumer, it's really frustrating, and you never really know, did I get a good deal? Yeah, it's everywhere, especially in airline pricing. And now that they have these AI models that can change the prices of tickets based on your information, yeah, there's a lot more to be seen here, but it doesn't look great for the consumer.
It does not look great for the consumer. You mentioned airline tickets. I'm always a little leery of doing a search for a ticket, even if I'm not logged into a particular site, because I feel like it will know and jack the price on me. To that point, is there any way for us to beat it?
Absolutely. So I will say, playing devil's advocate here, so in the old days with airline frequent flyer miles, it was either there were tickets or there were blackout dates. So in the defense of the airlines and hotels, they're now saying, well, we're going to open up every ticket so that it's not feast or famine. It's just you're going to have to pay more on days when everyone else wants to travel. So in travel, there's still unbelievable deals out there. You just generally have to go when not every single other person in the world wants to go to that destination. And this is why at the Points Guy, we've been preaching, go and travel shoulder seasons. Europe in August is not great. And why are you paying double the price? Or St. Bart's and New Year's Eve is 10 times the price of 1 week later. So unless you absolutely need to be somewhere, be flexible. And that's why there are tools like Google Flights. They have an Explore map, which will actually let you hunt for the cheapest fares you can put in New York to Europe and just see where the cheapest flights are. So being flexible, there are still deals to be had.
I also wanted to get your take. So we saw this agreement this week with Visa and MasterCard and merchants. So it used to be that you had to accept every card. So now with this agreement, merchants can choose which cards they accept. And so I know there's some concern about certain credit cards that are linked to maybe a points or rewards program that maybe merchants will say, we don't want to take that card because it is a higher transaction fee for us. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think this could really put a dent in some of the places that would accept reward cards?
Yeah, and let's be clear, merchants always have had the right to say, we only want to accept cash. We don't want to have Visa, or we'll only have Amex, et cetera. What this settlement potentially, and by the way, it's not signed off on by a judge, and this lawsuit's been going on for 20 years. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure this is going to actually come into fruition. But really what it's saying is retailers will be allowed to take the cheap Visas, but not the expensive ones, those rewards cards. But from my perspective, the best consumers who are spending the most are on those premium cards. And yes, they cost a little bit extra than the other cards, but I think this would be a classic example of retailers cutting off their nose to spite their face, shunning the best customers to save a fraction of a cent per transaction. So I don't really see anything huge happening. I do think retailers, and we're seeing it today without this settlement, adding surcharges if you use your rewards card. But I think consumers will have the power here to say, well, I'm not going to go to retailers that don't allow me to use the credit card of my choice that gets me the points and the protections that I want.
Brian Kelly, always appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.